Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation for the day is Gauri Baraggan Mahalla Chotha on page 166 of the Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Today is Friday, October the 8th, 2021. The recitation is as follows. Nit Dinas Raat Lalach Kare, Parame Paramaya, वेगार फिरे वेगारिया सिर तार उठाया जो गुर की जन सेवा करे सो घर कै कम हर लाया मेरे राम तोड़ बंधन माया कर कै कम लाए नित हर गुण गावह हर नाम समाए रहाओ नर प्राणी चाकरी करे नरपते राजे अर्थ सब माया कै बंदे कै ठान लय कै नरपति मरी जाया धन धन सेवा सफल सतगुरु की जित हर हर नाम जप हर सुख पाया नित सौदा सूद कीचै बहु भांति कर माया कै ताई जा लाहा धय ता सुख मन्ने टोटे मरी जाई जो गुण सांझी गुर स्यों करे नित नित सुख पाई जितनी भूख अन रस साध है तितनी भूख फिर लागै जिस हरे आप कृपा करे सो वेचै सिर गुर आगे जन नानक हर रस तृप्त्या फिर भूख ना लागै. Following the theme of the previous passages, the Guru continues to show us the way, and he says, Nit Dinas Raat Lalach Kare Parme Parmaya. Here is the root of our problem, our existential problem, because the individual craves day and night. Nit Dinas Raat Lalach Kare. Lalach means greed, but it is in itself the offspring of desire, Trishna. And so that is what the human is caught in. And when he gets caught in greed or desire, then paramaya paramaya, delusion, doubt is just the natural outcome. And then vegar fire vegariya sir par uthaya, like a slave carrying a load on the head. That is what our state is, the state of our being. By contrast, जो गुर की जन सेवा करे सो घर कै कम हर लाया. The devotee, the Bhagat, who submits to good wisdom, finds the herself within. Karke kam laya, you turn within, you focus on the work at hand within. But that happens only when jo gur ki jan seva kare. That's the precondition. So we are caught, basically. The cravings of the mind lead to lust, hatred, attachment, aversion. One is either drawn to possess something or repulsed by another thing. And this cycle of attraction and repulsion is a delusion that entangles the individual into an endless cycle. And so that's how you become a slave to desire. And that is carried in the head like a burden, because it serves no real purpose. And the true purpose was to be in servitude of the self, not in servitude of desire. And the self resides in the kar, the core of one's being. In the Rahau, he amplifies the central message Mere Ram tode bandhan maya. So it is the self, my Ram, the supreme self, breaks the bondage of Maya. Karke kamalai, by putting me to work within this house, within my mind. That's where the real work is. Nit har gun gavo, harinam samai. And so there's the advice. Cultivate virtues of the Har self. This should be your daily occupation or preoccupation, is cultivation of virtues. When you do that, the Guru says, Haranam Samai, union with the Har self is found. So in other words, when the mind is attuned to the self, the bondage of Maya is broken. Karke Kamalai suggests, as we said, that our primary work is to cultivate the self within. But what do? He says, Nar prani chakri kare narpat raje, arth sab maya. Instead, the individual chooses to serve the king for the sake of Maya, money, wealth, arth sab maya. And then what happens? Ke bande, ke dand, lai ke narpat mar jaye. Then the individual gets bound by duty, gets punished for transgressions, and when the individual dies, that wealth makes its way back to the king. Or this line could be read to say that even the king will die. So by contrast, service of the Satguru, by which reflection on the knowledge of the Har self brings fulfillment, that is the real thing. That is rich, is true and rich. Tan tan seva safal Satgur ki, jit har har naam jap har sukh paya. So we see that spiritual transformation, which is what we have to undergo, requires us to turn inward, to turn our attention inside, to try and understand the self, to try and link with the self. Serving the Maya simply signifies serving the pursuit of transitory happiness, which has a debasing influence, as we've noted in verse 1 already. It's like a load on our heads. And so this verse emphasizes the fact that we cannot serve two masters, Akal Purakh and Maya, at the same time. Nit sauda sood kijai, bahu pant kar Maya ke tai. So, in an egocentric existence, one is engaged constantly in transactions of various kinds for the sake of profit and loss. These transactions could be monetary, these could be emotional, you name it. Our attitude is that of transactions, of reciprocity, of recognition. Jan laha de ta sukh manne tote mar jai. If something is profitable or it seems to be profitable to benefit one, then we are happy. If not, mar jai, we lament. And then again, the contrast to adopting good wisdom. Jo gun sanji gur syon kare, nit sukh pai. So sanji, if you share in the virtues of the self, then you will find everlasting well-being. And then the Guru reminds us, Jitni pukhan ras saad hai, titni pukh fir lag gaye. The hunger for various pleasures is insatiable. It fuels the desire for more. Jis hare aap kripa kare so veche sir gur agge. On whom the heart self casts a benevolent glance, that one submits to the Guru Enlightener. And submitting to the Enlightener, the self is apprehended and the hunger of cravings and desires comes to an end. Jan Nanak har ras tripatya ਫਿਰ ਭੁੱਖ ਨਾ ਲੱਗੇ. On that note, until the next time, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ.